Hello everyone, welcome to the video. So today we'll be discussing a very unique kind of a puzzle. So it's very unique for people who don't solve puzzles regularly. For people who solve it, quite regularly, probably they would get it very quickly because this is something from like a easy to medium level of puzzle, right? Okay, so let's first understand the setup. So it says that you have five pirates, right? We have around five pirates, and let's assume that they are somewhere in the middle of the sea, in a ship. Okay, so and we have certain order of seniority among these five pirates. So let's assume these five pirates have A, B, C, D, and E. So what we have here is my A is going to be the senior most pirate, followed by then I'll have B, then C, and then D, and then E, right? So that is the level of seniority. So what happens is, in midst of this uh, C that they're in, so they have 100 coins, and uh, everybody wants to get a share of these 100 coins, right? But uh, the condition is like this, that the person who is the most senior proposes. So this guy, the senior most guy proposes a plan to distribute these coins, right? And once he proposes a plan, then there goes a voting. The voting is conducted where the one who proposes the plan, that guy also, along with the other four, all of them vote, right? And for a vote to be accepted, it has to be greater than equal to 50%. The majority has to be greater than equal to 50%, right? So what I mean is, like, let's say if A proposes some random distribution of coins, right? And three people three people vote in affirmation of that, so that plan gets accepted. But let's say if there were only two people, right, and one votes in favor and one against, so that also gets accepted because that is exactly 50% vote, right? Okay, so the one thing that's important to keep in mind is that it's greater than equal to 50. So even if your voting is equal to 50, then also your plan gets accepted, right? Okay, but there's a catch. The catch is that, like, see, A might say, I'll keep 100 coins and you all take 0. I'm not interested in giving you anything. I'm the senior most guy. I have recommended plan and this is going to be implemented. So that doesn't happen here. So there's a check here. The check is that whatever he proposes, whatever A proposes, and if the vote results are such that it's not possible to implement that plan, like let's say four people vote uh, that it should not be implemented, or even three vote, then his plan is not being implemented. So that particular pirate gets thrown out of the ship. So basically, that pirate dies, right? So the question now asks that what is the maximum number of coins that A can safely claim? Maximum number of coins of A, right? Okay. So initially, like, when, let's say, I ask this problem to a few people, so they come up, like, uh, let's say the first 2-3 minutes are not able to solve, right? And they, if they just take a guess, they take a guess like 30, 40, because see, let's say 20, 20, 20 would be equal distribution, something that everybody would agree to. But people start thinking that if A demands 21, right, the moment A demands A starts demanding extra than what's normal, it's difficult for A's plan to get implemented, right? But that's not the case here. So it's a very, like, it's something wherein you practically need to think about the problem. You just can't think about it mathematically, because if you think about it mathematically, you would at most think of 30 or 40, because you would feel, if A says of taking 50 coins, then why will these guys even accept that plan? It's not in favor of any of them that he himself takes 50 or more and runs away and lives a happy life with all those gold coins, and these guys don't get any uh, you know good share of it. So the point is, the actual problem's answer. First, I'll tell the answer, just to shock people who are not able to think about it, and maybe they are thinking maximum it could be 20 or 30, but no. The answer to this problem is 98. A can safely claim 98 coins. Let's now understand how. Just imagine it this way, that these guys think of not taking A's plan, right? And similarly, B also, everybody's greedy. So B also proposes such a plan, and none of them think of taking B's plan as well. Similarly, C also thinks of that plan, and everybody thinks that why will I go with C? Let's say when A and B die, C also says ki I need 100 coins and you both guys will have 0. So these guys vote against C and C dies. So then it's very important to think that if only D and E are there, have we ever assumed it this way, that if now D is the one who's going to say that what is going to be the way to distribute coins. So if D says that I'll keep 100 and you keep 0, and E does not vote for that but D votes for it, D has got a 50% vote and he can easily implement this plan. So if only D and E are left, D can easily get away with 100 coins without any issue, any problem, right? He can stay alive and get away with 100 coins, right? So if only D and E are alive, that's a disaster for E, because E is getting nothing. So what would E always want? E would always want that C never dies, because if C dies, his life is finished, right? So just think it this way, that if CD and E are present, and E and C knows the fact that if E does not accept my plan, then E does not get anything out of this, 0. So if C goes with this distribution, that I'll take 99 myself, I'll give 0 to D, and I'll give 1 to E. So do you see this, that C will vote in affirmation, E will also vote for him, because he would otherwise get 0, but at least he's getting 1 coin, right? So that's a positive thing for him. And these guys have just played with C, have just played with D, and they have a 66% vote, and they can easily get along with this plan. So that means that C could have this kind of a distribution. But then again, what D realizes is that if C, D, E and E are present, if only these 3 guys are present, then again life is a disaster for me, right? Then what I should try, I should never say no to B's plan, because if B dies and only C, D and E are left, I won't get anything out of it. So he says, you just give me 1 coin, play with these 2 guys and give them 0, and B you keep 99, and I'm perfectly okay with that, right? And now what happens? Now just extend it a bit, and now C and E realizes that if A dies, B and D will get along, and B can get 99 coins, D will get 1, and they will have nothing. So it's a very bad situation for them. So C and E would never want A to die, and A again knows that if I die, C and E will get 0 coins. So if I give C and E 1 single coin, 0 to both B and D, and I myself take 98, I'll get a yes from C, I'll get a yes from E, and I'll myself definitely vote for a yes. So I'll get 60% votes, which is enough for me to win this. So I can go along with this distribution, 98, 0, 1, 0, 1. So this is the distribution. This is the distribution that A proposes for, and C and E vote a yes for that. This is the final distribution, and this allows A to get along with 98 coins. So I hope that was a really interesting discussion. Everyone who watched the video, thank you, and stay tuned for more videos.